F1 fans, I guess, alike. We'll start that over because we can just restart it easily right now. Gameplay recording pause. That's not good. Let's make sure we're actually broadcasting here before we start going in. Do. All right, cool. We're live. Nice. Hello again, racing fans. Welcome back to the Savior 6 Racing League. Today, it's round 5 here around the Dutch Grand Prix at Circuit Zandvoort. It's a 36-lap race, but we first start with our full qualifying session, which, as always, will eliminate 5 people after Q1, 5 more after Q2, and the top 10 will battle for pole position in Q3. Drivers starting to get their engines warmed up here. Looks like a pretty clear day. Should be a very fun qualifying session, as qualifying is very important here. Probably second most to Monaco or Hungary. But definitely very important here. There's only one real good overtaking opportunity, and you have to be very careful when going for overtakes. ERS is very easily lost around this circuit as well, so you want to make sure you don't use it all on the first lap here. Got a couple people coming out of the pits here. RV Draco appears to be first on track, but we'll check it here really quick. And it appears that we have D2E Kronos in the Williams as our first on track. We'll hop on board here with him as he gets on his outlap here at Circuit Zandvoort. A 4.3 kilometer, 2.6 mile circuit, recently altered at the end of 2019 to bring the circuit up to the F1 A1 standards, so F1 can race here. It is definitely one of the older school circuits on the calendar. Last season in regular F1, we went to a bunch of the old school circuits. It was very fun. This one would have been on the calendar originally, but it was canceled. But they will be going back to here in 2021, but we can still race here before F1 even has in the F1 2020 game. Beautiful model by Codemasters. But we'll watch here as D2E Kronos begins his first lap in qualifying 1 in the beautiful Williams livery. His helmet matching the rainbow on the top of the halo. 2 of the turns here have 30% banking, something you don't see on any F1 tracks anymore. The only places we saw him on these old circuits like Indianapolis, going through turn 4, which I don't think anybody wants to talk about that 2005 Grand Prix. Oh, and he loses it. Kronos spinning out. He keeps it out of the wall, though, and gets out of everybody's way here. Let's see if we can hop on board with Brogan on an outlap. We know Draco is the next up. Hopefully, Brogan stays clear here. He did have incident with Cobalt last in climbing qualifying, getting in his way. Hopefully, he gets out of the way here of the AlphaTauri. He appears to not be getting out of the way, though, as Draco, on a hot lap here, is stuck behind an outlap car of Brogan Morris. And Brogan's still not getting out of the way as Draco's trying to go for a hot lap. Oh, my goodness. Brogan, what the hell are you doing? This is absolute bullshit. That is a penalty for Brogan. I'm calling it now. It's the same thing he did in the last race to Cobalt. Blames it on lag. If he's lagging here today and not on his Ethernet cable, that's definitely going to be an issue here. Cobalt, though, so far with the fastest lap of the race with a 109. Let's hop on board here. Walker making a comeback. Had to leave his seat due to his connection issues, but we are able to get him back here today in a George Russell-esque run. His one race here in the Mercedes, and he goes fastest overall with a 109.3. That should easily get him in to Q2. Owen Wilson, a reserve driver, making another appearance here. His first appearance since he originally appeared in Australia GP. Unfortunately, DNFing in that race in the Williams, but he's here now to replace the Racing Point, but he's not going to get a lap in. Appears he may have invalidated his lap. Revis Island finishing his hot lap. Let's see where he jumps up to. Only P11, a 133 for Rivas, but he was on the intermediate tires, so that does make sense. And it appears Ricky Star is the only driver currently out on a hot lap. Oh, Purple Catfish as well. Ricky Star, though, the lead of those two drivers, coming through the final sector here. Let's get the lap data turned on here for everybody. And across the line, a 110.8 for Ricky Star, good for 7th position. Our lobby is currently a little bit glitched because Capitano's fastest lap is staying up there. Unless it just knows he is from the Netherlands, our one driver from the Netherlands in this racing league at his home Grand Prix circuit. He was able to win it last year with holding off multiple attackers. Amazing qualifying from him as well that time. As Purple Catfish then goes 7th as well, pushing Ricky Star down one. Capitano, though, will he be able to go back-to-back here at the Netherlands? It's a much tougher grid this season with a lot more competition. Finished 3rd in the driver's standings last season. Fell apart a little bit towards the end, missing some races and such. Purple Catfish getting out of the way there of the racing point. Owen Wilson going to try to set a lap. Currently have a few drivers yet to set a lap. 6 to be exact, but Owen Wilson about trying to set a lap here. Sohan Matthew is on a hot lap, it appears right now. Let's check a look at him. As he comes into Sector 3, around the final turn, down the front straightaway, and it's good enough for P7. A lot of drivers getting that P7 spot. Now, the issue with full qualifying, you have to be careful with your tires. You only get so many here. And they are the hardest compound of tires we have. The C3, C2, and C1 compounds. Softs going about 15 laps here. Mediums lasting about 21. And the hards about 27 laps. We see wet conditions for the race. It'll be about 21 laps on inters and 27 laps on the wet tires. The delta here to the soft to medium. Soft are about 5.5 tenths quicker per lap than the medium tires, and about 1.1 seconds faster than the hard tires. So about 5.5 tenths between each tire compound. So if you're trying to build a strategy here, there's a lot of different options you can go with. But definitely the most viable one here is trying to go soft to medium and just hoping for that safety car to give you that little extra distance. Sohan Matthew, though, is on his in-lap right now, it appears. Multiple people in the pits as we wait out qualifying. Sohan Matthew going into the pits here. Let's hop on board with Owen Wilson. He should be finishing a lap here. Shea Kelly right behind him as well. We'll hop on board with him once we see where Owen Wilson can put his car. Looks like it should be a decent enough lap, and it's good enough for P13. That's a good enough lap for right now. He probably will have to go out again here, but it's good enough to get him on the board. We'll hop on board Jay Kelly, who currently has an invalidated lap. That is unfortunate there for the Renault, invalidating quite early. Working on currently, though, getting our track map updated here. It's a brand new circuit here. F1 has not raced at before since 1985. And this current layout has not been raced at by any Formula One series as they redesigned it in 2019 to 2020. One of the things they did, they made this banking over here where their sand dune is, as we watch Jay Kelly around this final turn. 34-degree banking through that turn, the tightest and steepest corner on the F1 calendar, as Jay Kelly is going to start his hot lap attempt again here, trying to put a valid lap on the board. Only 8 minutes left in Q1, over halfway through already, still with 4 drivers not having a time on the board. Rivas gets out of the way. Jay Kelly through Sector 1. Let's see what his time is. He comes to the end of Sector 1 here. And it's a 30.4, a decent enough first sector. Coming through the windy bit, it's definitely very hard to hook a lap up here. He hits the first of the DRS zones here. Hard braking down through the turn. The shortest of the sectors there. Coming around the final turn, through the banked right-hander. Will this lap be good enough to get him off the bottom? We believe it will, and it's very good. It's a P11 performance from Jake Haley on that lap. He definitely will be going out again here to make sure he secures himself right now, but he is currently about a second clear of the P16 position. Almost 1 second clear, as Granny Boy has retired from the session. Knowing he's clearing through with a 108.7. But while it can live on, we'll just keep showing El Capitano saying he has the fastest lap with a 1:10.2. Brogan here, 13 seconds off his time. Definitely not on a hot lap. Jan currently 200ths up on his fastest lap, but only through sector 1. You can make up a lot of time through this winding middle sector here. Driver right behind him is the Mercedes of Walker. He's going to get out of the way of Walker there. I don't know if who was on a hot lap. Walker may have been on a hot lap and closed in on Jan very quickly there, because Jan was definitely on a hot lap. Not entitled to give up his hot lap attempt there. But very clean racing from him, noticing the faster driver was behind and allowing him to go through on his hot lap attempt. I think we'll ride on board here with Jan for another hot lap. I'm assuming he's going to go for another hot lap attempt here. No, he's going to go into the pits and try to throw on a new set of tires. Make sure you have the freshest tires to try to get out onto the circuit here. Chief Chris, currently the only driver yet to set a lap time. And we will try to bring Rivas Island in. I believe he should be done with his qualifying once he gets into the pits. Very flowing, very tight circuit. And here's how you know it's old school, as this track still has, even after the redesign, 2,500 meters of gravel traps along the raceway. And remember, the circuit is only 4,300 meters long, so over half the track is lined by gravel traps. As you can see, built in the sand dunes just 30 minutes outside of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, right along the coast. I don't remember the sea name, but it should be a very fun race here overall. Even if there might not be a lot of overtaking, it's going to be a lot of tight following and tight driving throughout. And if there are overtakes, it's going to need to be very impressive if you're going to be able to overtake the driver ahead. Chief Chris, though, trying to put his first lap on the board here. Very short lap. He should be able to, after this lap, get into the pits and come out for another. I believe he should be able to make it. It actually will be very tight. Merrick getting just out of the way of the Chief there. A Haas driver noticing him at the last possible second. Hopefully that doesn't affect Chief Chris's lap here. A 49.1. It's a decent time through the second sector, but he's definitely going to have a good last sector here. Gets it just about right. Around the final curve, down to the line, flat out. Should be good enough. And it's good enough for P14. Very tight, though. If he doesn't get out to do another lap here, he may be on another hot lap immediately here. We'll have to see. But on the bottom right now, Tiburon James, he's currently 8/10 down, so he is not on a hot lap. Owen Wilson, currently 1/10 down on his time, so that's not going to be good enough to bring him up. As Merrick has dropped down to P15. I believe Merrick may have been kicked. He's showing in P15, but he has a P7 valued time. So not quite sure what happened there. Tiburon James and Owen Wilson going to try to pit, throw on some new tires here, try to get them to the end. JST currently on an invalidated lap, and Jan has spun out on his lap attempt. He was 200th up, but he has spun out. RD Draco currently trying to get ahead up into the P15 position and get on to Q2. RB Draco, just trying to make sure we have Merrick in here. Sorry for the delay. And Merrick, I believe, should be back here. I think we got him back in. I can't really tell who is disconnected at the moment. If you need an invite, just please at me in Discord so I know and I can send you a new invite. JST, I'm not sure if he legged out. Let's try to send him an invite just in case he did. Or if he just retired or crashed out. I didn't see the crash if he did crash out. JST is still here. On board here with Jan as he's going to try to set up for a final hot lap here, I believe. Nope, he is not going to have the fuel to go for a hot lap. Draco on a hot lap, but he is 6/10 off. He is not going to be moving up on his time. Tiburon James is still in the pits. He's not going to get out in time. Oh, goodness gracious. So it appears Owen Wilson will be the man trying to knock Merrick or Brogan Moore as one of the Haas drivers out of Q1. He's going to have a beautiful final lap here and absolutely nail these turns. Currently with the 111 flat, he needs a 110.8, so he only needs about 2 to 3 tenths gain. Through Sector 1, looking pretty good so far. Definitely a very fun circuit to drive, though. If you have never driven at Zandvoort, it is a tricky track, but it is very fun when you nail it and you put it all together. Currently, 1/10 up on his time. If he can keep this up throughout the lap, it will be good enough to get him out of the bottom. Owen Wilson in the Racing Point, his first race since Australia, his first fuel qualifying, and he goes wide. He's not going to beat his time. Oh, he would have to, and he's 5/10 off. Unable to beat his time. RB Draco, though, currently 1.5 tenths up on his time. That is good enough if he can keep it up. No, he is currently 1 second down on his time, and now it says. Oh, that just appeared to be some sort of glitch in the game. But it appears Brogan Morris will be safe and advance to Q2. Very unfortunate. Draco, Wilson, unable to improve on their times on their final lap attempts. Coming through the final turn, we'll just watch Draco, see how close he was. Not very close in the end. 2 seconds down on his fastest lap. Owen Wilson has already invalidated his lap. And that's going to set the field for Q2. Brogan Morris sneaking into Q2 by just under 2/10 of a second. 14 milliseconds Brogan has beaten Tiburon James by in the thinnest of margins. A good performance from Tiburon James, though. Not so good qualifying performance overall from him so far, but able to almost sneak into Q2 for the McLaren. They really need that from them. McLaren getting 3rd place overall in total points in the last race at China, but no points so far in the season for Tiburon James. Hopefully he can improve upon that as we just wait for D2E Kronos to retire from the session. And there it is. He has retired, and we move on to Q2. Granny Boy with the fastest Q1 time by 5/10 of a second. Hopefully the other drivers just taking it easy, making sure they put laps on the board. But that is a very good showing for Granny Boy. He did do this at Vietnam, but then Q3 came, and he was only P5 in the end. That was in slightly wet, interchangeable conditions. So I'm not sure what we're going to have here, but we will try to get a hold of one of the drivers, see if we can get a weather report here. I have not heard anything. Q2 is about to begin here at the Dutch Grand Prix for the Safety 6 Racing League. Revis Island joining us, his teammate missing out on Q2 by 14 milliseconds from Brogan Morris. And for some reason, Merrick, I don't know if he rejoined and was just kicked and is going to start in last. We're not sure. But quick question, Revis. What's the weather looking like for quality in the race? Revis, you got a copy on us?
Sorry, I muted myself. You hear me now?
Yep, we hear you now. We got a hold.
Yeah. Rest of the qualifying is all sunny, and the race, like I was saying, I don't know. The weatherman keeps setting up for rain, but looks like it's gonna start off sunny, and it says it's gonna rain plus 45 minutes. So possible rain at the end of the race. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see how early it comes, or if it comes too late. It'll be very interesting. You can maybe do just one set of tires, maybe.
Definitely. You would imagine it would come 36 laps, and it'll be about a minute, race pace, a minute 12 to a minute 15 per lap.
Especially some safety cars, too.
Yep, slowing it down. All right. Well, thank you for the insight. We'll have to pay attention to that. Good luck here in Q2.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Good luck. See you. Merrick, do you need an invite? Let me know. I don't know if you're in here. Currently, have a few drivers on track. It appears the first driver to start his hot lap will be Sohan Matthew in the Ferrari as he goes through Tarzanbach in turn 1 at Zandvoort. All these turns having names as he goes through Gerlachbach, named after Gerlach Burger. Through the Hugenholzbach, through Hunsberg, Slotmakerbach.
Was broken on an out lap or a hot lap when I was behind him.
If you look back, I have it on broadcast, but yeah, he was on an out lap at that moment. Sohan must have invalidated his time as we were not paying attention. Purple Catfish.
Oh, damn idiot, he
Fastest.
my lap a bit and didn't he, Lou?
Well, definitely something you could file a penalty for if you need to. Just make sure you're recording your races. If you need to capture your last 15 minutes, just hit the share button on your PS4 and then hit square. If you didn't set it up, it'll save the last 15 minutes. You can set it up, though, so it'll save the last 60. But make sure you hit share and then square first. That'll save your last 15 minutes of gameplay if you're not recording. But yeah, definitely recommend recording your gameplay, broadcasting to YouTube. It's very good for disputes and just watching your race back. Maybe able to use it in highlight packages as well. Purple Catfish on an in-lap, getting out of the way of the Mercedes of Ricky Starr, who should also be on an in-lap here. El Capitano no longer showing up as the fastest time and only good enough for P4 so far. Medium tire runners, though. Let's see what tires everybody has their laps currently on. Catfish and D2 Kronos on the soft tires. Ricky Star Capitano on the mediums. Walker and Kelly out on the soft tires. I'm assuming that is a used set for Walker. I would hope so, but you don't want to be starting the race on very used softs. Hayden on his medium hot lap here. I hate how it keeps turning everything off. Coming through the final turn here. The hard banking never seeming to end. You go a little bit low, you clip the grass, you're going to lose control of your car, but he makes it very well. And it's good enough for P2 on the medium tires. But as we saw in Q1, a lot of the times can be very quick around here, especially those on softs compared to mediums. We were talking to Revis before. Soft to medium, medium to soft, probably one stop. Either way, but definitely something you need to watch out for here is that rain coming towards the end. And oh, Ricky Star loses it. A bit of his front wing left on the track. Some free advertising there for Ineos. Right on the inside of the turn. That should be a very good spot for the broadcast. Very clear track, though. Nobody he needs to get out of the way of here. Anybody on a hot lap at the moment? Vapor Cobalt appears to definitely be on a hot lap on his medium tire. This is probably his one medium tire run. Granny Boy also out on the mediums. That'd be very interesting if Walker is going to try to start on softs and Cobalt and Granny Boy on the mediums. Definitely good to see that alternating strategy. You never know what could happen, especially if it's going to rain at the end. You potentially could go soft to soft here if you think that rain is going to come at the end. You do need to use 2 compounds of tires, but if it rains and you put on the intermediate tires, you no longer are required to use a soft and a medium and a soft, or medium and a hard and a soft. No longer do you need that requirement. If it does rain, in fact, if you put on the intermediate tires, you have officially met the requirement. Or the wet tires, for that fact, as well, as Revis goes P1 on the soft tires. That soft tire will be very good towards the start of the race, but because it is very hard to overtake. But remember, your Q2 position will not set your final grid spot. As Jay Kelly has retired from the session, I don't know if he wrecked out. Yes, he did crash out. He has a time on the board in P4, but I don't know if that's going to be fast enough. It'll be very interesting here to see. Vapor Cobalt currently in P3, and Granny Boy, I believe he might have DQ'd his lap because he does not have a time on the board right now, and he appears to be on an in-lap pace. Very unfortunate. Chris coming here through the end of Sector 1. It's a 30.6. I believe that is a decent time so far. But still, a lot of people will have more time to put extra laps out there. This is only his first lap attempt. You want to make sure you get a good solid lap on the board. Hash up in 9th. I don't even think we mentioned him making it through in the Renault. Both Renaults making it into Q2, actually. That may be the first time we've seen that all season. Very good performance. Jay Kelly and Hosh. D2E Kronos also up in P6 after a poor performance in his debut in Bahrain. Yeah, I believe that's where it was. Don't have him on my list, but D2E Kronos. Oh, no, made his debut in Vietnam. Sorry about that. For Mercedes, but did not have a very good performance. Multiple laps and pit changes for wing damage. Chief Chris, though, goes 10th place with a 110.6. Granny Boy, though, on a hot lap on the medium tires. He's put a few laps on these tires already. So even if he's able to set a lap, will he really want to starting the race on 3-lap old tires? Plus in-lap and out-lap, it'll be very tight. You want to get as much life. It's almost better to be going soft, potentially. But if the rain doesn't come, you will be screwed on that sort of strategy there. We'll have to see what happens. Granny Boy, though, going into Sector 2, coming up here to the Vodahombach. As you open your DRS for the first time on the lap, down the long straight and into the Audius. The little right, left, and it is very tight to find that correct line through that section. And then here into the penultimate corner, Kumholbach. And then through Luyendijkbach around to the Tunnel West straight. Down to the line. It should be pretty quick. It's a 109 flat on the medium tires for Granny Boy. Very solid lap. I think Granny Boy will be very happy. That is easily, if he wants to start on the mediums, he's definitely going to be starting on the mediums now. Let's see what tires some of the drivers currently on. Walker out on mediums for his lap attempt. Ricky Star out on the soft tire. Let's see if we can hop on board with Ricky Star. And he goes P7 on the soft tire. Walker on the medium tire, starting his hot lap here. And let's see if we can go around and name all the corners. Through Gerlach Block, where we were rudely interrupted. Then through the tight 180-degree hairpin Hugenholzbach. Then up through the long winding straight through Husenserg, Slottenmakerbach. Up to the right-hander in turn 7 of Schilvlach. Always ending. Then you got to try to get as left as you can here to make the hard right through Marlborough in turn 8. Down again, another right-hander of Reynoldsbach. Up into the left-hander where you're going to be setting up for that first DRS zone through Vodafonebach. Open the DRS. Trying to build as much speed as possible. Almost up into 8th gear, but not quite. As you slow down them for turns 10, 11 of the Audi S. And then the left-hander coming out of the hairpin, Hugen. And then the double right-hander, Kumholzbach and Luyendijkbach. Turn 14, opening the DRS on the exit. Down to the line, keeping it as straight as possible. It's P6 for Walker. Only P6. I don't know if he's going to be able to get another lap in. That should be good enough. But if a couple of the drivers down behind can set really good laps, they may be able to knock him out. D2E Kronos, Capitano, previous race winners, definitely both with some very good pace. Ricky Star, after missing a race, still P6 in the driver's standings. Gets out of the way of Walker there. I believe Walker just on an in-lap, though. Ricky Star probably on an in-lap here as well. Walker may be rushing back to the pits to make sure he can try to get out of Q2 here and get onto those soft tires if he needs to. Both the Mercedes, line astern. The McLaren, the McLaren has retired of Rivas, sorry about that. But the Ferrari is what we meant to say. On an outlap, D2E Kronos on an outlap. He's going to be very close here to the Ferrari. That's not ideal for the Williams. Hopefully it doesn't affect him here. It's going to be very difficult. If Chief Chris slips a little, it may affect his outlap as well. He's only going to have one attempt here. If he's going to go out for another set, he's not going to be able to pit onto a new set of tires. So he's going to have to do this lap on these tires as he closes in all over to the back of Chris. D2E Kronos currently P10, but Capitano can easily beat that time. We've seen it before. Brogan Morris down in 14th on a hot lap as well. Behind the pair of these, Capitano, the native from the Netherlands, currently in Curacao, trying to get out of Q2. He definitely would be very disappointed today if he does not make it out. Might have 2 laps, but it will be on the soft tire as D2E goes purple through the second sector all over the back of Chris. If Chris goes fastest 10th, I believe D2E will pass him, as D2E has now been bumped out by Ricky Star. The downforce may be affecting him a little bit. It may have been held up here by Chris. Hopefully it didn't hold him up too much. Going to get a little bit of slipstream. Hopefully it counts, and it's good enough to move him up to P7. Chief Chris, though, unable to go faster, has Brogan up into 10th place. Vapor Hayden currently down in P11. He's going to have to nail it. He's going to have one lap here to try to make it out of Q2. As Brogan Morris sets an amazing lap to get him up to P10. And Ricky Star on 4-lap old softs. He should be pitting. What are you doing? You do not want to be starting the race on these old softs. 4-lap old softs is not what you want on your car to start the race. Capitano, 3/10 up on his time as well. That's good enough at the moment. He's going to have to nail the final turn here, though. It didn't look very smooth. It looked like he lost a little bit of speed through that turn. Coming through the final straightaway. Can he get above Brogan? He does. P7. And Jay Kelly, who crashed out, still in it by 6 milliseconds over Brogan Morris. And Brogan Morris, I believe on an in-lap. Definitely on an in-lap from Brogan. Vapor Hayden, though, would be the driver that can get above him. This will be his only lap to get him back up into the field. Ricky Star is 9/10 down on his fastest lap. Gonna have to try to nail this final turn. We'll hop on board with Hayden after Ricky Star finishes his lap. He's gonna have to put some, he's only needs to get and he's not gonna go faster. He's gonna try to recharge his battery here, get some space, and he's gonna probably go for it here. No, he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel. Ricky Star has run out of fuel in qualifying. He's not going to be able to go faster. So it all comes down to Hayden. This Capitano just barely out of the way in the Red Bull. Can he knock Jay Kelly out? I would imagine he should be able to. All he needs is a solid lap. Just don't DSQ as he goes purple in the second sector. 3/10 up on his fastest lap. All he has to do, keep it on the circuit here. Just don't DSQ your lap. And the Alfa Romeo will be up into Q3. As Hayden will be very happy with this lap in the clutch. Vapor Hayden down to the line. It should be good enough. It will be good enough. It's P7 for Vapor Hayden, and Walker makes it in by the skin of his teeth. He's able to get it through on the medium tires, but making it in by less than 1/10 of a second. If Jay Kelly hadn't crashed out, he may have been able to go faster. If Ricky Star did not run out of fuel, he would have probably been able to go faster, knocking his teammate Walker out. Walker, not what we're typically used to seeing from him, not knowing he was going to be racing today, as he goes, never mind. I wasn't even paying attention. Walker goes P1, dead even with Granny. I was so excited I pulled my mic out, but Walker and Granny Boy go exactly the same time. 1:08.038, 1:09.038. But Granny Boy did it on the medium tires. Granny Boy and Cobalt starting in the mediums. Walker was through on the mediums, but decided to go for a hot lap on the soft tires. You definitely, maybe trying to think he's going to be on the front row of the grid, use those soft tires, get a better launch, and try to pull away from Granny Boy. Very interesting, going on the alternate strategy from the other top two runner, the two other top three runners. I don't know how to word that. I'm sorry. And now, the all-important qualifying 3 session will set the grid for the race in about 15 minutes. Doesn't matter what tires you use, you just need to go fastest. All the drivers who made it here will have a new set of soft tires to use, so everybody will get at least one lap clean here. Hosh, I still have not seen him. This is like Carlos Sainz in 2019. Finishing P5, P6, never getting mentioned. We'll try to make sure we get a look at Hash here, as 3 reserve drivers are currently in the top 10 in Q3. All 3 reserve drivers making it through. Actually, Hosh, sorry about that, and D2E Kronos have both recently been promoted to full-time drivers for the time being. Kronos moving up to the Williams due to Walker's internet connection issues. He believes he got them sorted here, but as Walker got the call up to the Mercedes team, and Hosh is taking over for Jay Kelly for the time being as a full-time driver as well. But Jay Kelly, with Prince being out, is able to make this race and keep his Renault seat here for one more day. So we are not missing out on Jay Kelly, but he's unable to make it through to Q10, or to Q3, as he crashed out on his hot lap. Merrick, as we saw, crashed out for P15. The Haas both going out in Q2. The only driver currently not on the circuit, Vapor Hayden, as Vapor Cobalt is the first on track here. Let's take a ride along with Vapor Cobalt. This pink Racing Point, he has been a stellar addition to the league. Currently P2 in the driver's standings in the Racing Point in his debut season in the Saber 6 Racing League, only behind Granny Boy, with his worst performance coming in Vietnam, still being a P4 finish. All 3 other races, P2. And absolutely owed to consistency is Vapor Cobalt so far, along with Granny Boy. But nobody wants to watch somebody win every race. We like to watch the battles. And Vapor Cobalt almost able to come back in China and close the gap. Granny Boy having a 3-second time penalty. He was just outside of DRS range of a lapped car on the final lap. And if he got that DRS, he may have been able to win the race. Granny Boy was able to take advantage of it on the lap before. And it was able to allow Granny Boy to then pull away to a race victory. But Cobalt, looking for his revenge here, goes 109.2, and Granny Boy 108.5, Walker 109.1. Granny Boy appears to just be on a completely another level here. As we hop on board with Hash, we said we would at some point. The Renault driver. This could be the first time we've seen Renault above. Actually, this could be the first time we see Renault getting major points all year long. Currently, Prince leads the Renault team with 6 points, but unable to make it to this race. The highest finish so far for the Renault team is a P8 in China, which last race. 2 P9s for the Renault team. Other than that, Renault really struggling on track. Let's hopefully we can see a Renault here get up into the top 6. Hash looking very strong. Jay Kelly looking very strong as well. Unfortunately, crashing out and unable to improve his time. But Hash trying to carry the flame here for the Renault team. The newest addition. Trying to make a name for himself. As Vapor Hayden, who made it in by the skin of his teeth into Q3, is on his hot lap here. And let's see what he can do. Let's get the telemetry turned on so we can get the sector times analyzed here. It's a 30.5, not as quick as you'd want to be here on the soft tires. And a little bit oversteer there. But this is how you get faster, people. Turning traction control off, anti-locks off. You got to start pushing your limits, manual gears, and that's how you get faster. That's how you see Granny Boy. Everybody started somewhere, and everybody grows to somewhere. Takes a little bit at a time. I was using automatic gears last year. Now I use manual gears, no traction control. Same with Revis Island. Granny Boy using no assist. Walker with no assist. Cobalt working on getting to no traction control. But it's all about pushing your limits. You stay with what you're comfortable, you'll never go faster. Hayden here showing that you can definitely have speed. Not on that lap, and you're going to have some. But when you can put it together, you can absolutely fly. Zandvoort, another track fact, I guess, about Zandvoort. Zandvoort has the most curb per length of track, with 700 meters of curb around the entire circuit. And with the circuit only being about 4,000 kilometers long, that's about 20% of the track having curb around it. As you can see, every single turn, in and out, inside, outside, no area for runoff here. Everything is gravel. It's not like the newer circuits with France and I don't know, what's another one I'm thinking of? USA, even Silverstone, where you have these grass and paved runoff areas. You go off here, you're in the gravel, it is going to be a bad day for you. So any mistakes are punished severely here. You do not get away with cutting corners, or you will definitely not reap the rewards here. D2E Kronos, though, on his hot lap. Let's see if he can improve the Williams. Trying to set his fastest lap, his first lap in Q3. His debut for the Williams racing team. Beautiful helmet and car design. I believe we said that earlier, but just wanted to mention again, one of the best combos on the grid, as drivers are starting to come out for their second and final hot lap attempts in Q3. Currently a 48.4 for D2E. Decent time so far. Saying fastest second sector. Don't believe that, but it definitely probably is the fastest for him, as he has not set a time yet. D2E Kronos, though, through the final corner. It's not going to be Granny Boy, but it's good enough for P8. P8 at the moment. Hosh able to maintain P7 as Soham Matthew is the only driver yet to set a time. Currently out on the soft tires. I don't believe yet. No laps currently on them. Revis Island saying he's on a hot lap attempt. It does not look like it. Granny Boy still in the pits, waiting for the track to get to optimal conditions here. Soham Matthew trying to get the tires warm. It looks very warm out there. Don't want to take any life out of the tires here, but definitely want to get them up to temperature, trying to get them as hot as possible here so you get the most grip possible. These tires you do not need to start the race on. You are starting your race on your Q2 tires. So whatever you need to do to get these tires to your optimal qualifying performance, you want to do here. As you see all the sand dunes around the circuit, this circuit was built, carved into the sand dunes way back in 1948 for the original plans and the first F1 race happening in 1952. The last F1 race, though, 1985, won by the esteemed Niki Lauda for McLaren. McLaren would love to see their car back on the top step here again in the first season of the Savior 6 Racing League's Dutch Grand Prix. Soham Matthew with a 30.2. That is a decent enough first sector. That should be getting him at around P4, P5 positioning if he can nail this lap the rest of the way. Soham Matthew, one of the biggest surprises of the season, currently P3 in the driver's standings for the Ferrari. I don't think many people really expected that. A 48.3, another very good sector here for Soham Matthew. Just have to nail these final couple turns. If you mess it up, you're going to lose speed all the way down the front stretch. You got to get as much power as you can through that turn. Around the final bank curve, 34-degree braking allows you to keep that power down, and it's only good enough for P7 for Soham Matthew. An unfortunate performance there. He may be able to have time to recharge his battery if he has enough fuel and go for another hot lap. Walker currently on an invalidated lap. He's going to have to go again. Catfish, 5/10 down on his time. Vapor Hayden, sector 1.5 tenths up, and he still is only P10. P10 for Vapor Hayden. That's very unlike him. Must not be one of the circuits that he enjoys here. DNFing in every race except Vietnam. Vietnam getting a P5 performance. So it's P5 or bust here for Vapor Hayden. Would love to see him get back up and be competitive here. Purple Catfish retires from the session. Currently P5. And another big surprise. Walker on a hot lap. A lot of traffic in front of him, though. Tons of traffic. Hopefully everybody gets out of the way here. Catfish has crashed out of the session. Vapor Hayden parked on the inside, staying well out of the way. I don't believe Hayden's going to go for another lap at that point, at that rate. Walker currently 1/10 down on his fastest lap. That's not going to be good enough at the moment. And traffic ahead of him, D2E Kronos on an out lap. Gets out of the way. Not ideally, but definitely was able to see him get out of the way. Walker was able to react. Flat out straight zone. But Walker is going to have to go very quickly through these final couple of turns if he's going to want to make up time and be able to catch Granny Boy. Be almost impossible. Walker through the final turn. Down to the line, it's not faster. As Revis Island on an out lap here. Let's hop on board with the McLaren. Currently above Vapor Cobalt. Revis has said this is one of his better tracks on the calendar. He crashed out last year, getting too close behind a Haas of Merrick, and ended up spinning and crashing out through the final turn, losing a bit of downforce. It's one of the issues here. You have to follow cars very closely through that final turn if you want to go faster and get a fastest lap. Revis, let's see what his time is through Sector 1. currently not up on his fastest lap. We'll switch over to Cobalt, see if he's going faster. He's currently 2/10 up on his fastest lap. That's currently ahead of Walker. Cobalt on the medium tires. Walker needs to be starting on the front row to make the most out of those soft tires. Coming through the final curve, Cobalt, will he be able to maintain that speed? I think he will. Very clean final couple of turns, and it's good enough. P2 for Cobalt. Unable to beat Granny Boy. Good enough for P2, though. Revis Island has given up on his hot lap, and that's going to set the field here for the Dutch Grand Prix around Circuit Zandvoort. Granny Boy with pole position, a 1:08.557 for the Red Bull. Cobalt, with the pressure on, able to go from P4 to P2. A very mixed up top of the grid here. 5 different teams making up the first 5 slots. And if it wasn't for El Capitano, and we had a Haas in there, we would have one of every team in the top 10. The only team doubled up in the top 10, the Red Bulls of Granny Boy and El Capitano. El Capitano should be decently happy there with a P6 at his home Grand Prix. Definitely a step down from where he was last season, but will hopefully be able to take advantage. As we begin to get ready here for the race around Circuit Zandvoort. Dun 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 dun. An absolutely beautiful circuit in the hills of Zandvoort. Whoa, Nelly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to round 5 of the Save Your 6 Racing League at the Dutch Grand Prix here in the Netherlands at Circuit Zandvoort, just 30 minutes out of Amsterdam in the sand dunes of the northern Netherlands. We watch here as the drivers begin their formation lap, ready for a 36-lap race. Chance of rain towards the end, we've been hearing. Currently, Granny Boy will be leading away from the field. And Vapor Cobalt, it said his fastest lap was on the medium tire in Q2, but he's starting on the softs. So Granny Boy, currently the only top runner. Somebody's game is glitched. We'll have to see who that is, as I didn't see the comment.
I can't control my car.
We'll have to see who that is, as I didn't see the comment. Cobalt is glitched. That would make sense with the issues we're having here. Oh, very unfortunate here at the start. It appears Cobalt somehow is glitched. Another terrible issue. Of course, it can't be Granny Boy glitched and have him falling back in the field. Little collision on the formation lap. Jay Kelly and Brogus Morris. So both of them are going to be on very cold tires. Ricky Star and Chief Chris is going to be looking to overtake at the start. Only 3 drivers currently starting on the medium tires. Granny Boy in P1, Jay Kelly in P11, and Chief Chris in P14, all starting on the medium tires. As we get ready here for the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and go! Granny Boy gets an absolutely terrible start. Cobalt gets in a really good run. Walker with a good run as well. Let's get him an invite real quick. It's going to be very unfortunate for the start of the race here, but we need to make sure we get all our drivers in. Cobalt gets a very good start, but he's going to be overtaken very quickly here. That's going to be really unfortunate. Yellow flag in Sector 1, and it's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. Oh, multiple collision penalties there at the start. Jay Kelly dropping all the way to the back. Must have been some sort of collision there. Let's see, it's his wing. He's got major right front wing damage. Vapor Cobalt has joined. It'll be a minute here before he can take control of his car as he gets back into the lobby. But Walker was able to jump 2 positions, partially due to Cobalt lagging, but Granny Boy having a very poor start as well. Will Walker be able to take advantage of this? It is extremely difficult to overtake around here. This is not going to help Walker, though, with the virtual safety car. It's going to help Granny Boy keep up with him, as DRS will still be activated after 3 laps. And it appears Cobalt is back now. Let's look from behind. And yes, Cobalt is back. Only going down to P3, the safety car, virtual safety car, saving him on that lap attempt. As Walker with the fastest lap, obviously, at the start. Ricky Star into the pits, along with Brogan Morris after collision at the start there. A lot of drivers very close here in the back of the field. Catfish all over the back of Rebus, who's all over the back of Sohan. D2E trying to go around the outside. Oh no, it's Hash going up the inside of him. What a move by Hash. D2E held up by Purple Catfish. Hash able to come down the inside and take advantage of this little space that was available. D2E coming back and he hits the back of Hash, breaking some of his front wing. Oh, very unfortunate for the Williams. It looks like pretty major wing damage on the front left of his car there. Catfish riding the back of Rivas here. As we said, it is extremely difficult to overtake as Hayden gets past Capitano. Capitano is back 5 positions into 11th. We didn't see what happened, but Vapor Hayden has been able to overtake El Capitano. Capitano with a very poor performance. Merrick up into 9th. Capitano still has his wing. Merrick, though, up 6 positions. Another amazing start for Merrick. Merrick has been the king of restarts this season, moving up multiple positions on laps. D2E Kronos is going to be going into the pits for the Williams with that wing damage. Just don't want to get a 5-second penalty for speeding. Appears to have gotten in clean. The drivers all over each other here through the beginning laps. They're going to try to find some space here. Walker leads away Granny Boy from Cobalt to Sohan Matthew, who has a train behind him of Rivas, Catfish, Hosh, Merrick, Vapor Hayden, all within almost 0.6 of a second as Catfish is being pressured up the back. Hosh trying to get by. Everybody currently being held up by Sohan. This is an absolute train. Rivas is going to have to try to make a move here, and he does. He's going to go down the inside. Will he get the move? No. But he's going to have the fast line around the outside here, and he's not going to get it. Catfish is going to try to take advantage of it. And they all act up holding station in the end. Rivas trying to go down the inside. He's going to go around the outside. Catfish down the inside. Hosh on the back of Catfish. This is unbelievable racing in the back here. They're all over one another. Rivas should have DRS here at the end of this lap to try to push past Sohan Matthew. Sohan Matthew gets a little bit better exit, though, through the final turn. Rivas lost it in that part last year. He's going to try to make sure he doesn't do it right here. Using the DRS, he goes to the outside of Sohan. Kenny hanging around the outside. Gets the speed, gets the line, gets it done. Catfish able to hold up Hosh. Draper, Hayden, and Merrick. Oh my goodness, this is incredible racing. As Hayden trying to go around the outside of Merrick. Merrick holding the inside line, though. Very, very tight racing. And it appears Walker has been passed by Granny Boy. We didn't catch that on stream as we were watching the battles from behind. Walker, oh man, on the softer tire too, he's being overtaken. Granny Boy's pace around here is just on another level at the moment. This Purple Catfish riding the back of Sohan now. Will Rivas Island be able to pull a gap? He's going to try to get out of the DRS. Sohan, though, still is going to pull in. He's not able to get ahead yet. Catfish going around the outside, attempting it. As Vapor Hayden tries, or Merrick tries to go down the inside. Oh, and he might get it done. No, not quite. But Catfish able to get past Sohan. Now it's Hash's turn to try to get past the Ferrari. The Ferrari really struggling so far after a very good start. Merrick, though, stuck in a DRS train. But Hayden closing on the back of him very quickly. He's going to try to go around the outside here through the first turn. Locking up just a bit. He's going to not have the... Oh, man. Hayden is all over the track. He's got an amazing speed. He's going to have the inside line, but he runs a little bit into the dirt. That's not going to help him. And he's going to stay in 9th position for the time being. Very aggressive driving. Very good attempt there. This is exactly what we love to see here in Savior 6. Owen Wilson catching the back of the Ferraris. The Ferraris are just struggling around here right now. I don't know what's going on, if they have a bad setup or whatnot, if they are set up for the rain at the end of the race, but the Ferraris currently struggling a decent bit. Not very good qualifying overall from the two of them. We saw them both in Q3 in China. As Hosh is going to try to go down the inside of the Ferrari of Sohan, side by side. He's going to not get the line, but he's going to try to go for the switchback here, coming out of the turn. Unable to quite get the power down. Hosh, oh, and he just stays in the back of the Ferrari of Sohan. Sohan is not going to have DRS on the cars ahead as he's fallen way back. Here comes the Renault. He's opening the DRS. Does he have any overtake left? He doesn't have any DRS. That's going to severely affect him. Sohan usually able a little bit of overtake. And he's able to keep the position as Rivas is overtaken by Purple Catfish. Purple Catfish up into 4th position at the moment. And Cobalt is closing in on Walker. After leaving the session in the beginning, oh, and it appears Hayden has spun out. Hayden's DNF'd. Oh, no. Another unfortunate. Oh, goodness gracious. Hayden. Well, we said it was P5 or bust earlier for Hayden, and he thought he wasn't going to get P5, so it appears... wasn't able to control his car. Hayden has left the session. We can see if he'd want to talk to us, but I highly doubt he will. We will leave him being here today. I don't want to bother. So he probably will be pretty upset. Another DNF. 4 DNFs in the first 5 races for Hayden after finishing P2 last season in the driver's standings. Cobalt, though, Walker not having the DRS here. Cobalt going to try to hang on to Walker and try to make a move here towards the end as they're both on soft tires at the moment. Cobalt should have been starting on the mediums, but his car was glitched out. Cobalt, though, leading Purple Catfish. These 3 front runners have opened up a 7.5 second gap on 4th place. Rivas Island, I wonder if he has wing damage as he is starting to fall back, and he does. He has front right wing damage, does Rivas Island, and then McLaren. Hosh is starting to close in on him now. Hosh looks like he has a very clean front wing. Merrick as well. Wilson going down the inside of Chris. The Ferraris down to 9th and 10th. What is going on with them? Chris is up 5 positions, but Sohan Matthew is dropping like a rock, and Owen Wilson just overtook Chris through the winding turn 3 of Hugenholzbach. Sohan Matthew is still currently here. Chris trying to fight back on Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, as we talked to Chris earlier, was in the movie that Savior 6 was founded around, the Navy SEALs. If you watch our interview with Chris on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see a little bit about that. But Vapor Cobalt here, closing on the back of Walker, unable to get it done. Not quite close enough. Owen Wilson going to try to use DRS. Oh, Chief Chris gets a little bit of dirt. That's going to slow him down just a bit. Everybody, though, appearing to be out of ERS at the moment. As we said, it's very hard to manage around here and very easy to lose it. As Sohan Matthew, though, goes down the inside of Owen Wilson. We didn't even see that. Owen ran deep, and Sohan was able to take advantage. Owen's going to have to try to fight back past these Ferraris. Very good team driving here. Chris running Wilson just a bit wide on his overtake. Owen Wilson locking up and then allowing Sohan Matthew to go down the inside. Currently our closest battle on the circuit is this right here. Hosh, though, is closing on the back of Rivas. We know Rivas has wing damage. He might need to pit and change it, but he's going to probably try to hang it out on these soft tires while he can. Hosh unable to get the move done. Hop on board Timron James, his teammate, as the cars come down through the DRS zone into the Audi S of turn 10 and 11. And Owen Wilson is very close to Sohan this time. Both drivers, all the drivers just seem to hold station for the moment. Hosh, though, closing in on Rivas. In the Renault, will he be able to get a move done here? Rivas definitely struggling. Hosh just have to find that moment. But if Rivas can get a good exit out of the final turn every time, it'll be very hard for Hash to pass him. Rivas with a lot more ERS than the drivers behind at the moment. Merrick is closing on the back of Hosh now, too. If Merrick starts attacking Hosh, that may actually help Rivas to get away here. And El Capitano, after his pit stop, it appears, all the way back in P15. As currently Ricky Star is the leader of the cars that have stopped. D2E trying to hold off Capitano. Both drivers have pit. Both drivers very low on ERS. Capitano not going to be very happy about this performance here in the Netherlands. One of our drivers to watch after he won the race last season. Let's see if he can come back here and get a good performance for Red Bull. As right now, it's been mainly Granny Boy with one reserve performance from Warrior Ends to give them all their points on the year. Sohan has pit after probably damage. We didn't quite catch whatever happened on stream. As Merrick closing on the back of Hosh, still everybody about the same spot. Gonna try to set up a move here on the counter Hosh, because Hosh is being held up by Rivas. It's yellow flag in Sector 3. Appears everybody's fine. Ricky Star into the pits again, though. That is a very unfortunate performance. He was having a very good season. He missed last race, unable to get into form this race, and it appears D2E may have spun. Nope. The other Williams of J.St. Spinning out there. Able to recover, get back on circuit here. All he needs is a safety car. That'll help him out a bunch here. Granny Boy growing his lead to 3.5 seconds on Walker, as Walker is holding up Cobalt potentially. Can't is holding up who, or if they're both just Granny Boy on another level. Walker, though, diving into the pits very early, lap 11, trying to prevent the undercut here from Cobalt. He's got a 5-second penalty to serve, Walker does. I believe he had a 5-second penalty. The pit crew may have not been ready. Mercedes pulling a Russell. Further, oh my goodness, Mercedes. Come on. You did it to George, they do it to Walker. This is poor from the Mercedes crew. Chief Chris and Draco. Chief Chris, Draco, and JST currently only drivers with penalties. 5 seconds for JST, 3 seconds for Chief Chris, and 10 seconds for Draco. A lot of these soft runners, their tires after qualifying as well, they're going to have about 3, 4, maybe 5 more laps here on these tires before they have to pit. Rivas Island losing ground on Catfish. Catfish has grown his lead to 3 seconds. Currently P3 for Purple Catfish in the AlphaTauri. He had an amazing performance to open the season at Australia. P7 in that race. But since then, just 1 point with a P10 in Bahrain. 0 points in Vietnam and a DNF in China. It's been downhill ever since the start of the season. Hopefully Purple Catfish can turn it around here and get some solid points for the AlphaTauri team. Currently, about net P4 for the AlphaTauri. As Vapor Cobalt is coming out of the pits. Let's see if Walker is able to get the undercut done. And he was held up here by Merrick, it appears, as Vapor Cobalt comes out well ahead of Walker. Walker gets past Merrick in the end, but he lost 4 seconds on that lap due to the pit stop error by Mercedes. He tried everything he could, but Mercedes, unfortunate. As Jan being attacked here by D2E, he's going to go down the inside. He's holding position. Kronos going to try to go wide around the outside, set up a cutback here on those medium tires. Jan's tires have going to be starting to fall off here. 11 lap old soft tires. Kronos 8 lap old mediums. Cobalt onto the hard tires. He's going to try to make sure he can get to the end of the race if the rain does not come. No safety car yet. Every race this season there has been a safety car. There was an 81% chance of a safety car here today. We still can have one, but so far, very clean racing from everybody. As Cobalt is closing in on the back of this battle between Rivas and Haas. Will he be able to get past clean, or will he be held up? This is going to be very interesting to see here. Rivas and Haas both going into the pits. Rivas slowing up, and he's almost hitting the back. Rivas Island with a 5-second penalty, speeding into the pit lane. Oh, Rivas, what are you doing, man? And a wing change. This is going to cost Rivas a lot here. Rivas onto the hard tires. Haas onto the hard tires. We'll have to see what Granny Boy does here. Granny Boy will have to probably be hitting onto the hard tires as well. Currently, a pit stop here will lose you about 20 to 21 seconds without a wing change. Walker currently 3 seconds away from closing that gap and being able to come out here in the race lead. He's pitted onto the soft tires, though. Very interesting. Walker going soft strategy once again. We'll have to see if this strategy pays off. It paid off massively in Vietnam for an absolutely thrilling finish. But currently, all of the top 10 more than 2 seconds apart from one another, other than D2E on the back of Rivas. But Rivas on brand new hard tires. He's going to be trying to get them up to temperature. D2E's tires probably 5-6 laps before they start falling a little bit off. 10 laps before they're off the cliff. Rivas going to be getting... Oh, and that's a virtual safety car. Jan has spun out between Chevelach and Marlborough turns 7 and 8. But off the racing line, it's no safety car here. And both AlphaTauris out of the race. Rivas may pit here to try to serve a penalty. No, he does not. Could have got him onto the medium tires. Chief Chris getting a free pit stop. Many drivers. Kronos getting a free pit stop. Tiburon James with the free pit stop. As you under the virtual safety car, you are being held to a delta at 40% of racing speed. Oh, appears there may be penalties. Chief Chris getting a drive-through. He got a free pit stop and then gets a drive-through coming out of the pits. Capitano, though, up into 6th position. 3-second time penalty, but 6th position currently for Capitano. Haas in 5th place. Purple Catfish in 4th. Only 6 seconds behind Walker. Catfish having an unbelievable performance. Driver of the day so far, I would have to say, if I was voting myself. Only up 1 position, but a stellar day. Qualifying and in the race. He's definitely putting his best foot forward here in this performance. Chief Chris, only 8 tenths behind Rivas, our closest on track. But unfortunately, he's going to have to pit here to go serve his drive-through. Cannot serve it under safety car. You have to serve it under green flag conditions, and he's going to serve it right away. That's a very smart decision. So if you get a safety car, you won't be having to pit after the safety car. You can keep clean. And Ricky Starr is moving back up the field here, getting past Jay Kelly in the Renault. But Jay Kelly going to have the DRS here coming back at him. A lot of overtake available. Ricky Starr using all of his to try to stay ahead. It's going to close in, but it's not going to be enough for Jay Kelly. Ricky Starr is going to hold the position after overtaking. Granny Boy is now into the pits here. The Red Bull team coming out, and what's it going to be? It's the soft tire for Granny Boy. The soft tire is the tire. Ooh, that'll be very interesting. We only project them to go 15 laps. So if the rain does not come, or there is not a safety car, Granny Boy will more than likely have to be pitting again here. Maybe trying to copy Walker and go soft to soft strategy. But this could leave the door wide open for Cobalt. Cobalt's going to have to put some very good laps in, though, to make sure Granny Boy does not get even farther ahead. Granny Boy currently 6 seconds ahead. He only needs to gain 14 seconds, and he's on those soft tires. He needs to gain about 1.5 seconds a lap to make sure he is clear of Cobalt if he's going to have to pit again. Walker closing in on the back of Cobalt as well, though, but we know he will have to pit again as he is on the soft tires. Currently, very large spacing between the fields throughout the top 10. Our only driver within a second is 14th, D2E Kronos, and Brogan Morris in 15th position. As they are coming through the first turn here, Draco, Kronos, Brogan, all trying to battle to work their way back up here, but many drivers currently with some penalties. Haas still maintaining that 5th place position. Capitano, 3-second penalty. Rivas with a 5-second penalty in 7th. Sohan, all clean, 8th position for the Ferrari, the lead of the 2 Ferraris. Chief Chris back in 11th after having to serve that drive-through, basically counteracting his free pit stop. Biggest gainer of the day so far is Owen Wilson, up 8 positions into P10, getting a single point so far for the Racing Point, but they need every point they can get competing against the Red Bull of Granny Boy and Capitano, both currently ahead of Owen. Owen needs to try to get ahead of Capitano somehow to help them come back in the points. Merrick, 5/10 off the back of Sohan. Currently on the quicker tire. Oh, and he's going to go for the move right here, right now. He gets the move done. Sohan gets an absolutely abysmal exit. And Merrick's able to get the move done extremely quickly on 4-lap newer medium tires there. And now Merrick's going to be trying to chase down Rivas Island here. Rivas with a brand new wing, though, should be starting to hopefully catch up to Capitano. But he took the easy choice onto the hard tire. Doesn't want to risk it. Capitano, 13-lap-old mediums. He has probably 6 to 7 laps before he's going to have to be pitting. Maybe just waiting for a try to get a safety car so he can get a free pit stop. Started the race on the soft tires, so he could pit on another set of mediums if he has a new set. Another new set of mediums will get him to the end of the race fairly simply, as we are halfway through the Zandvoort Grand Prix, or the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. D2E Kronos closing in on the back of Draco. He's gonna have DRS open. Will he be going for a move here? No, he won't. He's gonna try to get close enough, get a better exit out of the final turn, and then go for the overtake down the straightaway. D2E coming in on the back of Draco here. All over. Draco, though, has some overtake left. He's going to use it right now to try to maintain positions. Kronos out of ERS, as we said. Oh, it's very close, and he taps the back of Draco. Oh, that was hard to tell what happened there. Draco has spun out. Tapped a little bit in the back from D2E, a little bit late braking. I'd have to say that's a racing incident in my mind. Didn't appear anything malicious there from D2E. Just thought Draco was going to be accelerating quicker. But that's very unfortunate for the two of them. Already back battling, just trying to get back to 10th or 9th, get a couple points from the race. As Sohan Matthew is passed by Chief Chris. Whether that was a team orders or not, Chief Chris is on the faster tire. We're going to have to see if he can come back here. Currently 1 point for Ferrari with Chief Chris in 10th position. As currently nobody on circuit within 1 second of each other. Let's take a look at Granny Boy. Gap up to 10.5 seconds. Growing his gap little by little every lap. He currently, I would say, is on pace to open up the pit stop gap here. As Cobalt will be on very old hards, even if he doesn't get the gap. Walker, 7-lap-old softs. Purple Catfish on those 4-lap-old medium tires, taking the risky strategy, but it may pay off as we start to see some light clouds starting to form above the circuit. Doesn't look like rain, as there has not been a safety car, so it's been a very quick race so far. Granny Boy, though, in very impressive driving once again from the Red Bull. He showed it in qualifying, when fastest time in each session. I'm going to say he set the faster time in Q2, even with Walker, but Granny Boy was on the medium tires and set the lap time first. So if it came down to Q3, that would be Granny Boy's position every day. El Capitano going into the pits and gets a 5 seconds speeding into the pit lane, going onto the soft tires, lasting about 14 to 15 laps. As long as there's the new softs, he should be able to make it to the end, but it's going to be very risky on the last couple laps. You may develop a puncture. Going to have to be very careful about tire management, as Walker has also pit onto medium tires, moving Catfish into third position. And if there was a safety car right now, it would be very unfortunate for Walker. Currently have some battles developing in the back, with Capitano on his brand new tires, brand new softs, Chief Chris 6/10 up the road on 5-lap-old softs, and Owen Wilson 5/10 ahead of Chief as well on 8-lap-old hard tires. And it's a yellow flag in Sector 2. We'll have to see who that was, and it appears to be the Haas of the Haas of Merrick spinning out. As Chief Chris is going to go around the outside. Owen Wilson gets by clean. Chief Chris trying to hang it around on those newer softs. And Capitano he's going to fall in behind. He's going to try to get him down the straightaway. He does not want to let Chief Chris get ahead of him. Merrick, though, adding to this battle with his spin out there. And another yellow flag in Sector 2. It's just a slow-moving driver. It doesn't appear to be any sort of issue. Just driver getting out of the way of a lead driver. Very good driving, of obeying the blue flags. And Draco coming out of the pits, not involved in this battle. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all within 1 second of one another right now. As you see from Capitano, he's going to go for the move. Round the outside here. And then comes the inside. Back to the outside. He has the move done. Passing Merrick on those brand new soft tires. Cobalt, 13.3 behind Granny Boy. As this battle is getting closer every single lap. Chief Chris all over the back of Owen Wilson. Chris trying to use those softs while they count. Here he comes. He's going to try to go down from the inside. It's going to become the outside if Owen can hold the inside. And he's not able to. He's going to get a decent exit. Owen passing by Capitano as Merrick's going to go down the inside as well. Owen Wilson losing 3 spots in 3 corners on those hard tires. They will be lasting to the end. Chief Chris will have to pit again, so that probably wasn't for position. Capitano should be able to get to the end on those. Merrick should be able to get to the end on his mediums as well. It will be very tight if they can, but they should be able to get to the end. Merrick, the only driver from 6th to 11th without a penalty. That's very good for him. Means he doesn't have to force overtakes. Chief Chris, 14 seconds behind 6th place Revis Island, who is 6 seconds behind Hash in 5th. Hash and Purple Catfish, as we've said before, both with very solid performances so far. Walker, still back in 4th position, not gaining on Catfish as fast as we would have thought. So far, very good pace shown from Catfish. Hash back in 5th. Solid performance from him. 8-lap-old hard tires. They will definitely get to the end from here. Revis on the 8-lap-old hards as well, trying to catch up to Hash. Very slowly doing it, as Chief Chris is still being trailed by Capitano and Merrick. Ferrari, Red Bull, man, would we love to see these battles on track again. Leclerc and Verstappen, some very amazing battles in 2019. 2020 didn't quite give it to us as much due to the Ferrari engine limitations. Chief Chris trying to defend. He's going to go down the inside. And who is that? Draco, it appears, spun out on the inside, but it's not going to be any sort of yellow. No virtual safety car, no safety car. He gets off the line, and Capitano's able to get the move done on Chief Chris. Coming out of turn 1 through turn 2, the Red Bull gets it done on the 6-lap newer soft tires. Merrick now trying to take his chance at Chief Chris. Chief Chris tires, they should still be good for at least 4 or 5 more laps here, I would say, before he's going to probably have to pit. Draco, though, getting a 3-second penalty. He retires from the session. then it's only a virtual safety car. We'll have to see if any of the drivers here decide to pit. Catfish could get a free pit stop. I would be pitting here onto the soft tires, getting onto the faster tire here. Walker does not pit. Hash does not appear like he's going to pit. I would imagine we probably see Rivas. He has an 18-second gap to the drivers behind, and Hash has left the session. Let's try to get him back real quick. Do everything we can here to get him back. Hash, unfortunately, has left the session. VSC, though, so he shouldn't lose too many positions. Oh, Catfish, I believe. How? Catfish found in 5th? Huh. Somehow Hash passed Purple Catfish. I don't know what happened. Unless Catfish had spun out, but I highly doubt that under safety car. DRS is enabled again as we are green flag racing with 11 laps to go. Send Hash another invite just to try to get him back. Catfish, though, 5th position. Hash up the road. Will he get back in time to defend this and fight this with Purple Catfish? Rivas Island did not pit to try to serve that 5-second penalty there under safety car. That would have been a very smart decision, I would imagine, but he does have a massive gap to Capitano, 14 seconds, so he's probably just going to try to maintain that lead as Capitano has penalties as well. Currently, the penalty situation is looking like 5 seconds for Rivas, 8 seconds for Capitano, 3 for Chief Chris, 5 for Merrick, 3 for Owen Wilson, 3 for Tiburon James, and 3 for Broken J. Kelly and J. Currently, our largest moving driver, Owen Wilson, up 8 spots, and another virtual safety car. Didn't quite see what this one was for either. Purple Catfish, 1 second behind Hash. Gonna give Hash one more invite here, just to try to get him back. Hash, though, has not been able to return to the session yet. In 4th position, having an unbelievable performance. Let's hope this does not fall apart here for the Renault. Still not back in the lobby. Purple Catfish closing in ever so quickly. Let's see any drive-through penalties. I don't believe I saw any. Nope, no drive-through penalties. Very smart onto the virtual safety car there from everybody. With 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. And Catfish is going to just easily overtake. Catfish going to try to pull away from Hash here. Hash still not back in the session, as his AI is probably going to pit onto soft tires here and destroy his race. Oh, that would be heartbreaking. Rivas trying to catch Hash as well. Come on, Hash. Come back. Come back to us. Owen Wilson, though, trying to catch Merrick, having to dive into the pits here on 12-lap-old medium tires. I wonder if he had wing damage. We'll have to see if they're going for a wing change. And they are bringing a wing out, it appears. Serving a 5-second penalty and getting a wing change. That is going to destroy Merrick's race here. Oh, man. Merrick was doing so well to come back there. As Rivas has opened his lead up to 17 seconds on Capitano. Hash, 2 seconds behind Catfish now. Still not back. And a virtual safety car once again. Very slow laps so far. That may save Merrick a little bit, but he's in 12th position on those new slots. 3 drivers ahead of him on old hard tires, and Chief Chris having to pit again. Owen Wilson, currently no very close gaps. Cobalt, the VSC's not helping him if he wanted to pit onto a faster tire. Sohan Matthew getting a penalty. Walker, 18 seconds behind Cobalt at the moment on those medium tires, trying for the alternate strategy, unable to make it pay off here, as Kronos and Capitano both get drive-through penalties. Capitano was on an unbelievable comeback drive there, up into 7th position, but he now is going to be serving a drive-through penalty. The Red Bull driver, mistake after mistake, but Walker is 14 seconds now, closing in, trying to catch up here to Cobalt. Cobalt just 3 seconds behind Granny. Granny may have pit onto new tires, and he did. He's on a new set of soft tires here, Granny Boy is. He had the gap. He was smart about it. Was able to pit on the new softs, and that's basically going to secure him a race victory. Cobalt trying to hang on here, but it's going to be very, very hard for him to do on those hard tires. I don't think he's going to be able to. His main battle will be trying to stay ahead of Walker on the medium tires, but Walker's tires are pretty old, I believe, at the moment as well. 6-lap-old medium tires versus 15-lap-old hards. Not going to be a whole lot of speed difference here as the clouds are looming overhead. We'll have to see if we get a little bit of rain towards the last couple laps. It could change a lot in the standings here as Hosh's AI pits and destroys his race. I don't know if that's Hosh. I believe it's Hosh's AI. Shouldn't have had to pit there on the hard tires. As a yellow flag in Sector 1, Williams going slowly. Gets it going again. Let's see, is that Hosh? I believe that's Hosh's AI. And that is Hosh's AI. Pitting onto 13-lap old soft tires. That makes 0 sense. Currently, Chief Chris, though, closing in on the back of Wilson. I believe Wilson may have just got a move done. Wilson's going to start pulling away here from Chris. 16-lap old tires, hards, and 13-lap old softs for Chris. Chris is going to have to pit here. Capitano still in 9th position even after the drive-through penalty. Brogan all over the back of... Should be giving some space here to these lead drivers, Jay Kelly and Brogan. Trying to see, but most of the drivers very far apart so far. And Purple Catfish gets a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Oh, he didn't probably have to pit there. He must have known he had the gap behind here. Catfish serves his penalty, pulls ahead. Rivas on these old hard tires. The hards are not as slow as some of the other circuits. Only a second slower than the softs and ideal temperatures. Chris gets a speeding penalty in the pit lane. Very difficult here as you're coming flat out down the straight here. A little right to left. You can miss your braking point very easily going in there. As currently a lot of drivers with massive gaps here. Owen Wilson closing in on the AI of Hash. We tried multiple times to reinvite him. Didn't seem like he wanted to rejoin. As Brogan is closing in and getting past D2E Kronos, who is going into the pits. Owen Wilson about to pass the AI of Hosh. And currently massive gaps everywhere in the field other than to a computer. But Merrick is closing in here on the back of Chief Chris. Chief Chris, both of these drivers on new soft tires, going to be chasing down Tiburon James and Ricky Starr, trying to get the final spots here. As Ricky Starr will have to be trying to get these they're going to be right on the limit if he's able to get them home here. 18 laps already on those hard tires. And these new soft tires are going to be much quicker at this point, probably 2 seconds a lap faster than those old hards. As Merrick and Chief, will they work together or will they battle and hold each other up here? Tiburon James, currently P10 for McLaren. That would be his first points of the year, and that would be an unbelievable performance. Almost making it into Q2 and getting his first points. That would be an unbelievable performance. We would love to see from him here today. Merrick and Chief Chris pulling away quite a bit, having much more ERS. And I don't... Oh, nope, Merrick is back. He appeared to be invisible for a second there. Hosh falling back slowly for Renault. Pretty big gaps through to the rest of the field. Maybe we'll get a couple laps of rain here towards the end. I don't expect it, but one can dream. Saying Rivas is 1 lap down. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Just Williams spinning out. Kronos recovering. Going a bit inside there, causing him to lose traction as Merrick is going to be trying to go past Chief Chris here as Granny Boy is coming straight through them. You'd like to see these drivers getting out of the way of the leader. But unfortunately, ghosting's turned on. They don't have to get out of the way. They're not going to. Every driver wants to keep the lead on the driver behind. But Granny Boy gets past both of them. Hopefully Granny Boy can pull away here. We can see a battle between Merrick and Chris safely happen. Because nobody likes ghosting. At least I don't. Makes for, doesn't make you a clean driver. But it's very hard to manage and penalize people for not letting leaders by when blue flags are occurring. Merrick currently 6/10 behind Chris, as Chris is on those newer soft tires. Should be able to maintain his gap as Ricky Star goes past Hosh. Capitano only 2 seconds behind Owen Wilson. Capitano's tires will be starting to go away just a little bit, but they're still going to be faster than those old hard tires. Soha Matthew passing D2 Kronos into the pits once again. Might be beating D2E Kronos, might be beating Knowing Light here for the most wing changes in a race. Currently holding the record with 5 wing changes is Knowing Light. Merrick has now lost DRS on Chief Chris, with Chief Chris hanging onto the back of Granny Boy here, using the DRS from him to maintain his advantage and hold on to P10 at the moment. Capitano losing a little bit of ground on Owen Wilson, a sign that his tires may be starting to go over the cliff. Lap 33 of 36 here, as Granny Boy still leads away the field. Multiple cars being lapped here. He's lapping points finishers now. Hosh, 9th place at the moment, falling back due to this AI. But currently, that's 2 points. Will he be able to lap more of these drivers here? Next up the road for him would be Ricky Star, about 5 seconds up the road. Nice chase here for Granny Boy if he can catch up to Ricky Star. He should be able to. Ricky Star on very old hard tires, as he's already got him in his vision. Yellow flag in Sector 3. That's where... Oh, no, it is behind, as D2E Kronos has lost it. The Williams with a performance about as good as the Alfa Romeo here today. Unfortunately, Hayden crashing out, Jan crashing out, Draco DNFing. We missed that. Believe that was down in Sector 3 as well. But Granny Boy with 3 laps to go. Oh my goodness. It looked like he locked up there, folks. Appears to have gotten away clean. Currently, no very good battles on the track. So we're just going to ride along. Oh, and Chris actually DNFs. We didn't quite see what happened there. Tiburon James coming. Didn't even see where Chief crashed out. We'll have to try to get a look from the overhead here. His car may already have been taken off the circuit. And Revis Island has left the session. Oh, goodness. A lot of issues here today. We'll try to get Revis Island back, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Walker currently passing Revis Island. Revis Island with his time penalties. 5 seconds. Catfish with time penalties as well. Both of them with 5 seconds. Revis Island currently has an 8-second gap. But he is not here right now. That's going to give Catfish a really good opportunity to catch up here. Catfish on those new soft tires. Maybe we'll be able to get a battle to the line here, as Walker is 32 seconds behind the 2 lead runners. Granny Boy with a 10-second lead on Vapor Cobalt here, as Kronos gets another time penalty. Walker coming around the final turns. He's on those new softs. He might be trying to go for fastest lap of the race here. Hopefully, it looks like we might have a little bit of rain here now. Yes. And the rain has started falling now. Granny Boy's just going to have to try to be very safe here. He's got a massive lead on Cobalt. Let's see what these drivers can do. This could change. A couple drivers may fall to these interchanging conditions, especially the drivers on the very old tires. Not a lot of rubber left. Very hard to keep the heat in the tires versus the new soft tires. Catfish closing in on the back of Revis, only 2.6 behind. Catfish is going to be all over Revis. This could be a run to the line here for a P4. Oh my goodness, Purple Catfish is going to fly by Revis. He's already within a second. Does Revis have any ERS left? He has a decent bit more than Catfish. He's going to have to try to get a very good exit. It's going to be very hard for Catfish to overtake. He has a lot more power to his name. Jay Kelly trying to go around the outside of Tiburon James as well. Tiburon James trying to hold on for the final podium position. 12-lap old softs, 20-lap old hards for Tiburon James. Let's see what Catfish can do here. Coming around the final turn, he's got so much more grip than Revis, and Revis has no shot. Oh, and Catfish crashes. He goes down the inside. Oh, and he lost it. It appears that he tried to go down the inside, and the rain may have cost him. He's still running. He just broke some front wing. He may still have more pace than Revis, even with a broken front wing. As there's a yellow flag, Jay Kelly and Tiburon James. Tiburon James has spun out. He was in his points. He could have his first points of the season. And Brogan gets by as well. Tiburon James falling down the field. Oh, and Ricky Starr has lost it too. Ricky Starr's in 9th. Oh, no. And Ricky Starr is retired from the session, crashing on the inside as we completely miss Granny Boy winning the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Vapor Cobalt in 2nd place, 24 laps on his hard tires. And Walker coming around for P3. A little bit of an engine glitch, so we're going to hop off board with him. Revis Island, though, holding on for 4th position. Catfish had the pace. Did he have to go for the move there? We have to wonder. Should he have held station and gone for it later? It looks like he should be able to hold on very easily for P5, as Granny Boy was able to lap all but the top 7 runners in the race. Lapped all but 6 drivers. An absolutely unreal performance from Granny Boy. Cobalt almost hanging on, but finishing in the end was saying 22 seconds behind, and Walker a further 22 seconds behind. Catfish finishing ahead of Revis, but with the penalties and the lag glitch, Revis will be finishing 4th position, Catfish in 5th. Owen Wilson in 6th position. What a drive from him. Gaining many positions. 12 overall in the race. P18 to P6 for Owen Wilson. And Capitano coming home in P7 for Red Bull at his home Grand Prix. He should be very happy with that result, especially after the disaster at the start of the race for him. Let's take a look here at our podium. On the top step, once again, for the 4th time in 5 races, Red Bull and Granny Boy taking the top step. Cobalt, another P2. We talked about him before, a model of consistency. The 2 of these drivers, and Walker, not knowing he was racing today, put into the seat at the last minute. After the pit stop debacle, he's able to maintain and get P3. Unreal race. Not a lot of battles towards the end. A lot of gaps. Catfish losing it. Having a chance for a 4th, but I think he should be very happy with a P5. Owen Wilson with an unbelievable performance. Jay Kelly getting up into 9th in the end. And Haas, very unfortunate. Should have been P5, potentially P4. Falling all the way down to P12 after he was lagged out and was unable to rejoin. Vapor Hayden probably with one of the disappointing performances. Ricky Starr was in the points, crashing out, finishing P14. An unfortunate performance from him as well. Let's see if we can get a hold of the drivers for some post-race interviews as well. Still waiting. Drivers definitely probably having a cool down, talking about the race. We'll see if any of them want to give us an interview here post-race. It appears they may have finally given us a break here from their post-race discussions. But here we are once again. I don't even think I have to tell you guys who it is anymore. Granny Boy with another P1 performance, and probably one of the most dominating we've seen from him all season. Pretty lonely run for you there all day, it seemed like. Poor start, but you fought back from it. How'd you manage that throughout the race?
Yeah, no, it was a definite poor start. I was not expecting them lights to go quick. Cobalt was in AI, obviously. That gave him a quality start. And then Walker obviously went through as well. He didn't have the right setup today, which he obviously said in qualifying and stuff. So obviously I knew that I could probably do well for the race pace. I did do a bit of practice before the race, and my setup felt really comfortable, and I was not expecting to be that high in front. I was looking forward to this race, but I wasn't expecting it to be that big. So yeah, that was a really good race today.
Yeah, very impressive overall. You even opened up the gap. You were able to go onto those softs there at the end, go for a fastest lap. And also lapping all but the top 7 in the field. That's what happens when you don't have a safety car. So.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, I was quite surprised, actually, there wasn't no safety cars today. I mean, when I saw Hayden go, I thought, right, there's the first one, and nothing. I was pretty shocked about that, and I kind of helped out my teammate. He said he needed a DRS on the last lap for me to overtake him. And then obviously, Merrick was saying that he had an 8-second time penalty, but he actually carried on with his lap. So I kind of helped him out to keep 7th. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that to do my teammate a favour today.
Well, there you go. Red Bull's working together.
That's
what you
definitely
want to see.
Yeah, not with a blue flag though. I was hoping to see him up there with me today. He did say he had some pace, and I don't know. I felt like my pace was just phenomenal today. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, it was. It was very impressive to watch. You're just running away with the race. So, congrats today, and hopefully you can keep it up here into Spain.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm going to keep pushing and keep trying, setting new lap times, setting times that I've never set before. So, yeah, I'm hoping to keep pushing.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to see what you can do. See if you can lap the whole field in Spain.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Could be interesting. Right, I wouldn't take it on it.
Well, hey, thanks for the time anyway. Congrats again today.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Granny Boy.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
And Mr. Model of Consistency we were talking about earlier in the race, Vapor Cobalt, another P2. Probably, I mean, obviously never happy to not win the race, but P2 again, no. I mean, you can't be too upset with that.
No. Of course not. Just I wish the game didn't revert my tires over to the softs for some reason.
Yeah, we saw that at the start. We were talking about it. Because we knew you qualified on the mediums, and we saw you on the softs, so we were wondering what was going on, how you changed.
Well, when I loaded in it loaded me in as a Ferrari. And I'm guessing whoever's Ferrari I loaded into started on the softs, so I'm guessing it was Chris's because...
Oh, dang.
So it reverted me to the softs, and my car was being controlled by whoever's car was...
oh jeez.
The AI was in control. I was spectating, I couldn't do anything. So
Hey, well, at least you had at least we had the VSC very early. At least you didn't fall farther than P3. It could have been really bad there.
Yeah,
if we didn't have the VSC, you could have been back in 15th or something. But
I wish I got past Walker a little faster, but
yeah,
it's just a straight line speed because he had the wrong setup.
I mean, your AI, I do have to say, had very good start.
Yeah, I heard that.
But, no, do you feel like second place is a good result for you here today?
Yeah. Doesn't feel good. I wish I could get a win, but it's what you got to deal with.
Yeah.
Can't be upset with the podium.
Yeah. Just got to get lucky on the strategy here one of these times. Granny Boy just seemed unreal. Seemed on a different level here today. You almost had him in China, so maybe we can see you come back and get him in Spain.
Hopefully. Spain's just a boring race, especially on this track or Spain or really any smaller tight track. But as soon as you get like a 10-second gap, and it's really like it's just lap after lap. I was just sitting there like, just counting down the laps in my head.
You're just doing like time trial laps, basically.
Yeah, I was just keeping the same gap between Walker and his mediums and softs. But
I gotcha. Well, hey, P2 overall. Maybe you can. We can see a change in the. I don't think you'd be upset with a P1.
No, I wouldn't.
So
wouldn't mind it.
We'll be rooting for you in Spain.
Hey.
All right. Good luck. Thank you.
Yep.
And P3 here today, the ex-Williams driver making a one-off performance in the Mercedes a la George Russell. Walker able to get a P3 here today. Not ideal for where you'd probably want to be finishing, but points are points, podiums are podiums. What do you think about your result today?
Yeah, it was alright, to be fair. I was quite happy with P3. Basically, I didn't have the right setup on. I was doing TT at Spain and saved on my Netherlands one, so I was running basically one that I thought of off the top of my head, and it was absolutely awful.
Oh man, that's terrible. I was going to say, if you're running the Spain one, maybe you're ready for Spain. You're going to lap the field of Spain.
Well, I've done the video for you, so I'm just having a little look at things, and then I'm going to send it to you.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. So we have to ask. We saw when you pit. It didn't look like the pit crew was ready for you. It looked like Mercedes pulled another George Russell on you. Looked like they held you a bit there when you went in the pits.
Yeah. I think what's his name, Jack Star or something.
Oh yeah.
He'd already boxed the lap before when I was coming round, so I forgot to press box this lap, so they were ready. But I lost 6 seconds. So then obviously I come up behind Cobalt and just couldn't get.
Yeah, it looked like that cost you the race, kind of the chance at P2. But hey, it was a solid performance either way, especially with not having a good setup on your car. That makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, man. Was it a good race to watch, or?
Oh, it was hella boring.
Really?
After the second half, like everybody was 2 seconds apart from one another the entire time. There was not a lot going on.
Spain will probably be the same as well.
Yeah, just DRS trains. I mean, at least there's some overtaking chances at Spain. Here, there's not really much. And everybody ran out. Nobody has ERS here. You can't get any ERS back. So everybody just burned it. So the back of the field really didn't know how to manage it, and the front runners didn't really need it.
I had to defend with Cobalt, so I was using mine all of it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, because we were on the same strategy. I just wanted to keep in behind, but yeah, it was tough. Because when it goes, you don't get it back.
Oh yeah, you get nothing back here. But hey, you did a good job overall managing it, even with now that we know, not even a quality setup, like a practice setup.
And did you see I didn't lag out?
Yeah, it was good. We had a bunch of other people lagging out, but not you. That works. So it seems like everything's fixed for you. Then that's good. That's good news. So we'll see what we can do about getting you back in here.
Good man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, take it easy. Enjoy Apex.
GG, bro.
It's peace, man.